I bet some of you are really cruising along with your spinning, and I want to show you how to get this yarn kind of finished up once we've spun quite a bit of it. Now you could get more onto your spindle than I have here, but if you've spun up everything that you were given, you might want to take it off and put it into a ball. I'm going to show you how to do that. You could also leave it on and keep adding more yarn to it and do this all later. But just in case you felt like you didn't have anything to do and you wanted to start knitting with that yarn, I want to tell you how to do that and then give you a little project to start thinking about or to start working on. So if I take this yarn off of my spindle, it might start to either unravel, or it might actually, if there's a lot of spin in it, it might start to do this thing where it's kind of kinking up on itself, and that's not very fun to work with. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, first of all, get a couple little pieces of string or yarn, and then I'll show you how I'm going to wrap this around a chair and soak it to get all of the kinks kind of even out and set the twist of the yarn. August is going to help me show you guys how to finish your yarn. So we're going to take it from off of the spindle and kind of let it stretch out a little bit. This also sets the twist so it won't unwind, and it makes it so if you've got it kind of overwound anywhere, it'll relax a little bit. So you kind of need a partner with this because you have to have somebody holding the yarn in place. So I'm going to have August hold this right here against the chair, and then I'm going to unwind my spool. Once I've wrapped all of my yarn around the chairs, I'm going to tie it. Now mine ended up having one end right here, back just off a little, and then the other end was right there too, so I'm only going to need to tie it once. Just going to tie it right there in between those two ends. And if I had my ends sort of on opposite sides, I would need to tie it in two places. Now I'm going to pull it off of here, and if you look at that, it's super kinky. All of those twists, if I kind of let it go, it really wants to wind up on itself strong, and it has a lot of little kinks in it. So we're gonna try and work those out. I'm gonna put it in, this is just a bowl of warm water, and I'm gonna soak mine in here for just, I'm gonna let it soak for maybe 10 minutes just to really get a lot of water in there. And then we'll hang it up on the chairs again, or we could hang it from a hook and put a little towel through it. So I'll show you both of those ways in a little bit. Now that my yarn has had time to absorb a lot of water, I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze it out just like we did with the wool. We don't want to wring it. And then I'm going to find that little tie, and that's where I'm going to pick it up because that way I know where to grab it. And I'm going to give it just a little bit of a tug, straighten it out. Now you don't want to stretch it too much, because stretching it too much will make your yarn kind of hard and not squishy and nice. So you want to stretch it out enough to get rid of the extra twist, but not so hard that you're going to break it or that you're going to make it hard. Now there's two ways that we can do this. We can put it back on the chair. Put it a little closer this time. I think it's kind of shrunk up a little bit. And if that's a nice amount of hole, that's a good way to do it. The other way to do it is to hang it on the hook. And then drape a towel through it. So this should give it enough weight to straighten things out. August has his finished yarn here, and you can see that it's not even twisting up much on itself. If you let go of it for just a second, I want to show. Sometimes it'll kind of start to twist like that, and if you've seen me do the finger strings in the morning where it's all twisted, this is how they do it. They'll twist it up like that, until they get a nice strong twist in it, and just twisting, and then it'll wind on itself again, and then you get this nice little hank of wool in a twist. And you can buy nice spun wool like this, and it'll look just like this in the store. So there's August's wool, his yarn, that you can now knit with. That's really exciting. Cool. Once my yarn is hung, if I'm not going to use it for a while, I might want to twist it up like I showed you before, and then just keep it in a little hank like this until I'm ready to use it, just so I don't pull on it too much with a ball of yarn. But if I'm ready to use it, I can go ahead and untie my string, find an end, and roll it into a ball. Now this is a little tricky sometimes. It helps to have a partner hold your yarn like this while you unwind it and roll it into a ball of yarn. If you don't have that, what I usually do is I use my knees. I'll put my knees up like this. This chair is really small. I'll put it up like that and wind it on my knees. And then I'll just start by, remember we start making our ball by winding it around 2 fingers, and then cross that to make a little bow. And then pinch those bows together and start winding around. And so then I can just unwind like this. It's really a lot more comfortable though if you have a friend to help you with this process. There's a little ball of hand spun wool all ready to go.